Welcome to Christmas Eve Chat with Garage Geek. I hope everyone is out there and having a good holiday. I haven't been on in a while, so of course this is on a Friday, so that's why I call this Christmas Eve Chats. I took my car in for servicing, and that was a mistake because it ended up being $1,200, and I was like, oh, but you just got to do it. What can you do, right? So I was like, just enjoy the day while you can. So whenever we drop off the car, they have a free service that will take you to the mall. So we went shopping in the mall, and it actually took all day. We dropped the car off at about 10:15, and it was ready at about 3. So we were there all day. Luckily, there's 2 malls. There's a mall and an indoor regular mall, and then they built another mall next to it, which is outdoor. It's kind of cool. But at the outdoor mall, they have a Barnes & Noble. And I was very lucky. So all of this long convoluted story is leading to me getting the 2 magazines that I needed. They had them, and I was so happy. So this is the 500 greatest albums of the 1960s. I had 70s, 80s, 90s, and I've been reviewing some of the albums, and I looked this one up to find it, but now I don't have to do that anymore. And now they have one for the 2000s. And so I'm going to have to add the ones that I've already done. I'm going to have to do catch up because of the ones that I missed. But I love these magazines. They're so much fun. And yeah, I know some people don't like lists because of how they grade art, but I just like it because it gets me to think about these albums and find new ones and listen to things that I never would have. I took the kids hiking, so I would like to show some. Actually, not really hiking. We went to 3 spots around the Dodger Stadium, and all of these spots are kind of near my house within 15 minutes. So I'm going to show off some of the pictures, the ones that don't have the kids in them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, wait, this one has the kids. Oh, well. I can't see them too well. So this is a small park. It's actually really, really long. And you can see downtown Los Angeles quite nicely. Now, that day was hazy. Then we went to another spot quite near Dodgers Stadium where there was this sculpture. And then you could see the Los Angeles in the background. And here we have that sculpture again, all graffitied up. But the graffiti of it is part of the charm. Here we go with the sculpture again. And what's really cool is from this point, you can see Dodger Stadium, downtown Los Angeles, and the Hollywood sign just by there. It's like one here, one here, one here. So you could get it if you did a panorama picture, which I didn't think to do. And then the final one is we saw a bridge, and we wanted to get to the bridge, and it was actually pretty difficult to find. It was a pedestrian-only bridge, but it was on the LA River. Now, the LA River is very interesting, but there is a lot of beauty in the LA River, even though if you've seen Terminator 2, then you know all about the LA River because, a major scene takes place. It's basically concrete, or Grease, where they're drag racing. That's the LA River. It's basically concrete with water going through it, but at certain spots, it is very beautiful. So there was this pedestrian bridge crossing over the river. And yeah, like I said, it was difficult to find, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. So here's another example. You could see the concrete on both sides with the river going through it. Everything else I have today is movies. There's a lot of them. So this is basically a movie chat. If you don't want to hear me ramble on and on about movies, then you should probably sign off now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 movies to go over. And a bunch of them are Christmas movies. So I'm going to go in the order that I saw them, but not in the order that I got pictures of. So the first one, and a lot of these movies I was watching because of the kids. So you're going to have like a mix of kids and teen movies in here. The first one was Uglies. Now, of course, I watched this for the kids. This was a runaway best-selling series of teen books. And knowing that it was going to be very Twilight-like, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I hope they make the next one in the series. There's Uglies, Pretties, Specials, and Extras, the 4 books. I haven't read these books. But, it's going to be about, there's always a love triangle. That's like given in one of these young adult series. And one of them's going to be, you know, the good guy who seems bad and the bad guy who seems good. It's like this trope. But it was still very enjoyable. So if you've got a teenage daughter, then you should watch Uglies. Or if you're a gay man, you should watch Uglies. Okay, the next one is a movie that I saw that was leaving Netflix soon. So I decided to watch it because I hadn't seen it in many years. Now I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling to try and find it. And I just realized there's something else I want to show you. So the other one, the next one I watched is Midnight Run. Now, I saw this movie when it first came out. And so I really liked it then. So I wanted to watch this movie to see if it still had the magic, and it does. These two are really great together. I think it's Charles Grodin and Al Pacino. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Robert De Niro. Great movie, great fun. I think it stands up. It's fun. It's basically a buddy comedy where they have to earn each other's respect, which happens in a lot of buddy comedies. Okay, after that, I was just surfing at night, and I saw what looked like an interesting B movie. It was called Breaking Infinity. This had time travel trope that I kind of figured it out. It's very low budget. I wouldn't recommend this for most people. I enjoyed it. It was a good late night movie, kind of sitting there, just enjoying a bad B movie experience. So I think it was on Amazon Prime, and it's about a guy who time travels. He inadvertently does it, and he doesn't know what's going on, and he's got to fix mistakes, and there's this end of the world crisis coming, and he's got to see if he can prevent it. It's one of those type of things, low budget, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, it's going to be very B movie. After that, I'm going to show off. Let me just show these pictures so I can get them out of the way. I also went downtown to meet some friends for eating and drinking in Little Tokyo. And so I have a couple pictures to show off in Little Tokyo. That's in front of the Japanese American Museum. This is the gate that is the entrance to Little Tokyo. The Japanese American Museum is over here, and I parked like back here. $10 parking. I really like that gate. And they have a Christmas tree in the middle of the plaza there. And I actually took a video. I was going through there. They have a very small mall there with all these different kinds of shops related to Japanese American products. No, actually Japanese products that are mostly imports into the United States. Sorry about that. I got interrupted, and now I'm going to have to piece these together. So anyways, the next movie that we watched was Wonka. And obviously this is about Willy Wonka, and this is when he was first starting out. And I'm going to have to say that this movie was kind of magical. I really, really enjoyed it. However, it dragged in the second half. The beginning of this movie was so much fun. It was delightful. It was really, really good. But like I said, I started to wear on me by the end. Not terrible by any means, but yeah, it overstayed its welcome, but it was still very, very good. So the next movie I watched was Happiest Season. Now, this was a movie recommended by a YouTube friend, and so I decided to watch it, and I'm really glad I did. I really enjoyed this. This is a typical story where a boyfriend or a girlfriend has to meet the family of the in-laws, right? And the only twist on this is that both of the members of the couple are women, and one of them is not out. It was a really fun, touching, and funny movie. I enjoyed the little twist on this holiday trope, and if you have a chance, I would suggest that you watch it. I really, really enjoyed this, and thank you for the recommendation. After that, I watched Palm Springs. Now, this is a movie that was on the time travel list. I don't know. I feel like I just talked about this. So, is this deja vu? Am I caught in a time loop? Did I talk about this in my last video? I don't think so. Palm Springs is as good as I remembered it. I had a ton of fun watching this. This is really, really good. I forget the supporting guy's name. I think it's J.D. Simmons. He's really good. He can really light up the screen. He's in another movie that I'm gonna talk about, but he's such a good character actor, and he does well when he's in leading roles as well. So he did a great job in this movie. Both of these two worked so well together. They really had great chemistry. This was a fun movie. And I believe it's on, it's Hulu. It's a Hulu original. If you haven't seen Palm Springs and you're a fan of time travel or time loop movies, you'll have to watch this one. And even if you're not, I think the acting performances in this movie is really good. You should check it out. Okay, the next one is going to be controversial because I went ahead and watched Joker Folie à Deux. And there it is. And this movie got such bad reviews, but then I heard some people talking about how they loved it. And I went into this movie with very, very low expectations. And I think that was what did it, because I actually liked this movie a lot. I won't say I loved it, but I really, really enjoyed it. People are saying that it's a musical. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. Like, there's no music for like the first 45 minutes or something. I might be wrong about that. But what gets you are the performances. These two just kill it in this movie. They are so good. And Lady Gaga is amazing in this role. Joaquin Phoenix is good. I was worried because I knew that he was going to sing, and I heard some of his singing before I actually watched the movie. It didn't matter. Their performances just outweigh everything. And then Lady Gaga, of course, like she just eats it up. She's so good with her singing and her performance. It's very slow, and it is not a superhero movie. So this is basically about two psychopaths who become codependent on each other. They're both bad influences on each other, because that term is actually used a couple times in the movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's going to be slow for a lot of people, and I could understand why many people wouldn't like it. I think if you're curious, you should give it a chance, and you will be rewarded. Especially if you go in knowing that, hey, this is not a superhero movie, and it's this weird drama hybrid of a musical. And yeah, you'll enjoy it. Next is That Christmas. Now, this is a movie my husband picked for the kids, and I started watching it, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of kids movies. So I was sitting there and I was like, it was the typical stuff, blah, blah, blah. By the end, I loved this movie, but I just got wrapped up in it. It was so well done. Now, the beginning, they got to go through all the relationships and introduce all the characters. And it's about the strength of people living in a small town and how they help each other. You can see the different families in the different windows there and all the kids. It just, it really had a great Christmas message. The animation was great. The voice acting, there's a lot of really cool voice actors in this. And like I said, by the end, I was won over. I really enjoyed That Christmas. If you have kids, you should definitely watch That Christmas with them. Okay, next. After the kids went to bed, my husband and I picked this random movie called The Fall. I was like, that looks scary. Two women stuck on top of a tower, and there's no way for them to get down. Who wouldn't want to watch that? This movie is a lot of fun. If you're scared of heights, you're going to love this movie, because there are so many scenes where they really, really kind of make you feel the height of where they are and the situation that they're in. Yeah, just so much fun, this movie, Fall. Next, The Feast of the Seven Fishes. So it was my turn to pick a Christmas movie for the family, and this was a bit of a misstep. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, but no one else in my family did. It's very slow. It's a romance. It's kind of like Crossing Delancey in many ways. It's about a people and family, and so this movie is interested in building the relationships and showing the culture of the people involved. And it takes a lot of time to do that in a very loving way, and it gives each person, each of the main people, like room to breathe and grow and develop. For many people, they're going to find this too slow, but the people in my family did enjoy it by the end. It was just the buildup that that was a little bit too much for us. I enjoyed it, and they enjoyed it to a certain extent. It was just that buildup that kind of brought the movie down, but I appreciated it for what it is. And if you do like certain romance movies like Crossing Delancey, then you might really like this movie. The Feast of the Seven Fishes. Oh, it's about showing Italian American culture. Next night, we're back to the action movies. We watched Twisters, and it's exactly what you would expect. A lot of amazing special effects, pretty good storyline to put it all together. So many twisters in Oklahoma. Like, if I only knew about Oklahoma from this movie, I would never move there. It's like they have 3 twisters every single day. And they're not just small twisters. All of them become these gigantic storm twisters that are once in a century or something. I don't know. But who cares? It's an action movie about chasing twisters, and it was a lot of fun. So recommend that for the special effects. Last night, oh my gosh, it's the last movie. So I got to the end. We watched the movie Red One. And it's got a great cast. It's basically a James Bond type movie involving the Santa Claus. So what we have is JD. Oh, his name is J.K. Simmons, not JD. J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. I don't want to spoil it. It's kind of fun, but it's very, very James Bond spy-ish, and it worked. The special effects are great. I really, really liked Krampus. So if you watch the movie, look out for him. But Chris Evans is great. Dwayne Johnson and Lucy Liu, they're all great in this movie. And it has a nice message. I really enjoyed it. Silly action movie about Christmas with a great cast. I'm shocked because there's still so many great Christmas movies being made. They seem to be pumped out, but a lot of them are really good. And I would recommend Red One if you want to see like an action Christmas movie with the family. And I shot through all of those movies so fast, and I talked about my car, my magazines, and I guess I'm done. I'm going to have to splice the 2 parts of this together, but I do want to wish everyone having a great holiday. Ours is getting ready to start. I went out this morning to buy a few last Christmas gifts, and I also stopped at my local comic shop, and I got some more horror comics that I'm going to be sharing with you as soon as I read them. But again, I want to wish everyone a happy holiday, and as always, I want to thank you for another year of support.